Yeah, so that happened. Hey guys, DB Right here, and today we are back with What If Sakura Was the Ninetails Jinchuriki, Part 4. Continuing right where we left off, we are now up to the preliminary matches for the third round chunin exams. So, essentially, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke had completed their second exam, surviving the Forest of Death, and earned the right to move on to the third exam. Which, of course, before they could move on to the third exam, they are explained that they're going to have preliminary matches right off the bat because too many candidates. After all, they cannot be wasting the feudal lord's times and the other spectators' times. Personally, I think that's a bit unfair, but hey, I'm not the proctor. To be honest, for the most part of the preliminaries, most of the matches in this story would turn out the same, with the exception of Sakura's fight with Ino, and I'll get into that. Now, of course, if you haven't seen the previous parts to this story, I recommend you go back and check those out, so this all makes sense. But, essentially, Sasuke gets through his match and is taken away by Kakashi and having his curse mark sealed like in the original. And everyone else's matches goes through exactly the same as it goes in the original, including Naruto. It's a match with Kiba. And we get... Now, when we were looking at Sakura and Ino's match, this is where things take quite a bit of a different turn to events in the story. Now, when I say different, I'm talking within the relationship between Sakura and Ino in this timeline, which is almost non-existent. They pretty much only helped them during the Hidden Sound incident back in the Forest of Death, the Ino-Shika Cho trio, that is. Because, fellow Leaf Ninja. Their Ino and Sakura's best friend bond isn't there. Naruto is Sakura's best friend in this timeline, which, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to add a little explanation to how Sakura actually becomes the Ninetails, and how Sakura and Naruto's relationship actually built. Anyways, so with that, so this meant, as we know from the previous part, Sakura was never chasing after Sasuke in this timeline. However, in Ino's case, it's not like she didn't want to be friends with Sakura, but when they were children, her parents basically told her to stay away from Sakura because she was the she's the Ninetails Jinchuriki. You know, how all the parents did that to Naruto in the original. So, Ino more or less focused on the fact Sakura was always top of the class, at least as far as the girls were concerned, and saw her as her rival in that way. But she hadn't really expressed any of that until now, as their match begins. Since these aren't two best friends going at it, they're going at each other at full force right from the get-go. None of that kid glove stuff at the start. It is full on, full of action, awesome display of martial arts. However, thanks to Sakura's straight up brawling experience to this point of the story, she definitely has the upper hand on Ino, who pretty much decides that she has to use the mind transfer jutsu, which, of course, Sakura being the whiz she is, she's still very familiar on the Yamanaka's special move and is easily ready to dodge it. Not to mention she saw the jutsu for herself back in the Forest of Death. And, well, just like in the original, Ino misses the first one, and Sakura gets, paralyzed stepping into Ino's hair, which is, got a chakra trail from Ino to Sakura, paralyzing her. So, once again, Ino tries the mind transfer jutsu again. However, now this is where it gets hilarious. The second she's in there, she is face to face with the Ninetails, who instantly roars and dismisses her and breaks the mind transfer. It is broken. And with her wondering what on earth is going on, Sakura has already come in for the final blow of the match, pretty much laying Ino out and securing her spot in the third rounds. And thanks to Sakura being an addition to the final rounds, that means the draws go, well, a little bit differently. Where, it's still Naruto versus Neji, because, well, you can't have a side arc like that start and then not finish. Shikamaru, who's originally paired up with Dozu, but his match was match 4 originally, if I remember correctly, before they switched it up in the original. But it's match 2 where things get different, because Sasuke doesn't end up fighting Gaara this time. It is Jinchuriki versus Jinchuriki for match 2. Sakura versus Gaara. Oh, come on, that's going to be one to see. And, I can't remember who Tamari ended up with originally in the pairing, but this time around it would be Tamari and Sasuke, Kankuro and Shino the same. Is that all of them? I think so. I think that's all of them. People in the comments, if I'm forgetting anyone, please leave their names in the comments and I'll fix that on part 5. And so, with that, with the preliminaries all wrapped up, everyone has a month to try and develop some new tricks and be ready to show the spectators their stuff and earn their rights to become chunin. And well, you can imagine Naruto and Sakura are hungry for training. However, Kakashi's having none of this because, well, he is wanting to concentrate on Sasuke. Now, meanwhile, well, just like in the original, Ebisu sort of takes the role. Now, Ebisu has met Naruto before. Well, actually, he's met both Naruto and Sakura before. Because Sakura was actually with Naruto during the whole incident, the second episode with Konohamaru. And basically, his disdain that he initially had for Naruto in the show is directed at Sakura because she's the Jinchuriki this time. However, after a little bit of training with them and teaching them how to walk on water, and because no one was hit with the 5-pronged seal this time, they were able to pick it up quicker in the original. Naruto, that is, because in the original it's just him. And in this case we had Sakura, who was pretty much a natural at it. But Ebisu begins to lighten up on Sakura like he does with Naruto, because both Sakura and Naruto both taught Konohamaru there's no shortcuts to being Hokage this time around. And well, this of course means Ebisu eventually gets laid out by Jiraiya, and Jiraiya ends up taking over as Naruto and Sakura's teacher for the final exams. After all, he needs to start getting Sakura ready to defend the enemies that she will encounter in the near future. Talking about the Akatsuki. And of course, Naruto being the 4th Hokage's son and Jiraiya's godchild. Yes, he was always going to train Naruto himself as well. So, he's got 2 pupils this time. And, well, we're going to leave things for the main part of this What If right here, because we have just enough time to quickly get into the bonus content I promised. So, this is how Sakura actually ended up with the Nine-Tailed Fox. Now, it was the night of Naruto's birth, of course. Now, as we know, the seal of Kushina, Naruto's mother, the Ninetails Jinchuriki, before her son Naruto, seal gets weak during pregnancy. And Toby, or Madara, or as he is really, Obito Uchiha, took advantage of that and released the Ninetails and used his Sharingan to control Ninetails and tried to destroy the village. Now, while that mayhem was going around, you could imagine civilians being evacuated, people in a panic, it was a surprise attack, all that. And since Sakura Haruno comes from a civilian family, she, during the confusion, she, slips from her parents' grips. Now, her being about 5 months older than Naruto, and I would say because of how clever she is and how she's basically she's able to crawl, and because of the mass hysteria, the big crowd, the parents lose sight of Sakura, and the shinobi are having trouble finding her as well, and she manages to crawl herself. Basically, she's crawling straight towards the big fox. Because, well, you gotta remember, at that age, there's no fear in a child's eyes. She's too young to know fear. So she's calling straight to this thing, just thinking, wow, what wonderful colours. She can't process what she's seeing, but she's crawling straight towards it. And so, by the time the third Hokage puts the barrier up around the Ninetail Fox, the fourth Hokage, Kushina, and Naruto, Sakura has just made it into that range before the barrier went up. And the only thing Sakura could do was crawl over to the basically next familiar thing, which, another baby right in front of her, two figures that might be a mum and dad. Talking about Fourth and Kushina, and basically, after the fourth Hokage, Kushina, have their goodbye words to Naruto and prepare to seal the Nine Tails within him, right at the last second, little Sakura crawls into the way and gets hit with the sealing jutsu instead. And this causes the Nine Tails to be sealed in Sakura instead of Naruto. So, there you go. It was tricky for me to try to figure out a way how to sort of make this happen that sort of makes some sort of sense. I don't know, I think I did an alright job. I think we can give me a little leeway on that. I could see that happening. And, in a way, that's what starts off Naruto and Sakura's friendship. Because, it's a case of, what they call it, imprintment? Like Sakura seeing Naruto, Naruto seeing Sakura, and, well, as some of her early years, as the Jinchuriki went by, and she was, being mistreated by a bunch of, bullies, Naruto decided to, come to her aid, and, well, they started shoving him around and beating him up instead. And, well, even though before Sakura wasn't fighting back before, but something she really truly appreciated Naruto's genuine act of kindness to her. It was really the first truly selfless act anyone had done for her. Understandably, ever since becoming the Ninetails Jinchuriki, even her own civilian parents are afraid of her and don't really parent her. Anyway, so pretty much her watching the one person who's treating her with kindness, the kindness she quite frankly deserves, she gets angry and she whops the guys good, whops the bullies good. And from there, Naruto and Sakura's friendship only grew stronger from that day. And they've been inseparable since. So, I hope you enjoyed the main What If and enjoyed this little extra content I provided at the end. Please like and subscribe. Leave your comment, your thoughts. And I will see you guys again next time. Alright. Have a good one, guys.